Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Antique and Garden Showcase. I'm Mark, and glad to have you here. I'm going on some suggestions that viewers had given me during the last video about talking more about some of the items that are in the booth space that I'm working on. Today, I'm actually sitting in the parking lot waiting for it to open up. I'm taking a cabinet in there for some storage to put some things in, to keep like labels and stuff that I may need when I'm up here working. So I'm going to work on kind of remodeling the booth just a little bit this morning, and then I have to head back. But the first piece we're going to look at is a piece of English. It's overlay, silver overlay over copper or brass. And that piece is an interesting piece. It's one that a lot of people it confuses a lot of people. In fact, it was found in a box lot at an auction. They didn't know what it was. I think the consensus was that it was a soap dish, but the more I got to looking at it, I'm like, no, it's not a soap dish. Now, I'm going to put pictures up on the screen, and you'll see that this is all one piece, but it actually comes apart, and I didn't realize that whenever I first saw it. The piece comes apart, and you actually use the bottom portion of it, which is like a little pedestal, as a pusher. What this piece is it's a really fancy butter dish, and you fill the underside of that with like a pat of butter. You use the pedestal to push it up through, and then it blooms into the bowl of the piece. And then you take your butter knife and you cut off little pieces of butter for whatever you're serving. If you're serving rolls, biscuits, whatever, on your fancy dining table, you're going to have that. A friend of mine said, ooh, that'd be fun to try out, but I wouldn't want to clean up the mess. And I totally agree. That piece is really neat. I would like to see what it would do whenever you filled that with butter and pressed it through, but I certainly don't want to clean that up. But that's piece number one that might be of some interest. I've sold a lot of flatware since I've been in the booth space for the first 30 days. And I lucked into finding an entire box of flatware that was from the 1930s and 40s. So a lot of nice Art Deco pieces, a lot of things I could make sets out of. And this is the piece that actually drew me to that box lot. These are tea infusion spoons, and the bottom portion of the spoon lifts open. You fill it with your favorite tea, you close it, and then you douse it down into the teacup, and it makes your cup of tea. And then you can use it to stir around when you're in, mixing up your tea, whatever. I thought these would be the first pieces to go out the door, really, and they're still sitting there, but they are fantastic, kind of unusual pieces to find. But that's what a tea infusion spoon is. These are sterling overlay. They're not completely solid sterling silver, but they're still fantastic Art Deco pieces. And I think when the right person comes by, they're not going to last too much longer. The table of green glassware that's sitting in the middle of the booth is one that I've also had questions about. And Anchor Hocking Forest Green has quite a long legacy. And honestly, to me, it's one of the highest quality glass that's ever been made. The glass itself is very durable. It stays very clear. You don't want to run it through the dishwasher. I mean, treat it like you would treat fine glassware, and it's going to last you for practically forever, and it'll stay nice and clear. Now, it will etch in a dishwasher, and that's a horrible thing to do to, vintage glass of any kind. But the Anchor Hocking Forest Green kind of has an interesting history. I know the sandwich pattern alone, there are two size juice glasses. There's a small and a large, and that's the only ones that are out there. Those used to be given away as like bonus pieces that were in bags of flour or giveaways in country grocery stores. My own family had country grocery stores on both sides. My mom's parents and my dad's parents ran country stores. So I'm familiarized with a lot of the Anchor Hocking and Fire King pieces that were bonus that came through those stores. Now, the green glasses were interesting because there was some way that you saved up points, and you had to get a whole bunch of points to get the picture to match the glasses. So there are tons and tons and tons of glasses out there to be found, but the pictures are very scarce. And I've actually lucked into finding the juice size for the smaller glasses and the water size for the larger glasses. The water size is extremely rare. The juice is also very rare. These were just not acquired, so there weren't that many made. The people didn't save up for them and whatever else, so they had a very limited run on these pitchers, which makes them desirable. I have seen the small juice pitcher locked up in a case for anywhere from $300 to $400. I've never seen the big one out in the store, but online anywhere from $400 to $600. And I would honestly try to stay, if you're interested in collecting those and really want them, the $200 to $250 range is a good price if you can find one. And I know that's a lot, but if you're a serious collector, you definitely want those pieces to go along with the other pieces that you have. Well, I'm getting ready to wrap things up in this video, but before I do, I want to give the gardeners just a little bit of something here. The McCoy flower pot that I've got on the screen here is a really neat piece of McCoy pottery. It probably dates to mid-century, probably the 40s. It's an unmarked piece. It's a basket weave and red design. And I bought this as a lot of 4 flower pots at an auction not too long ago. Gardening stuff is difficult to find. I mean, my name's Antique and Garden Showcase. There is not a lot of garden stuff to showcase. And I think since COVID, a lot of people are into gardening a whole lot more than they were. They're into fixing up their spaces, and just, actually sourcing some of these things is becoming very difficult. But I did look into these pots, or this particular one. The red weave is a really nice one, and I'm kind of shocked that it's still there as well. It's priced well below value. There was a comparable to this one online that was at least 3 times what I have on mine. So it's in great condition, and I look forward to seeing it find a good home sometime soon. There is another McCoy marked piece in there, which is newer, and there's a couple more flower pots. One's a Japan, and the other green one is unmarked. I believe it may be McCoy, but it has a slight chip on the little drain basin on the bottom of it. But finding good garden stuff is the challenge I have right now. And then once I do get it, it sells. I mean, it sells practically within hours of bringing it in sometimes. So having said that, I'm going to wrap this up today. I'm glad that you joined us here at Antique and Garden Showcase. I hope you saw something that was of interest to you in this video. I will probably take Wednesday of this upcoming week off. Like I said previously, I have a lot of things coming up. Got some family members going in for some surgery this upcoming week, and just need a little time to kind of regroup, and I'll have to probably go out and source for the booth. I didn't win anything at auction the other night. I tried to get several pieces to put back, got nothing. So I'll have to hit the road at least one day in there somewhere to try to find some things to help keep things moving along until I can get some substantial things built up, which I still don't have. I mean, literally everything I have is in the booth right now. So anyway, good to have you here. See you in the next one, upcoming Saturday. Bye.